I was given the most incredible vision last night about split energy and how split energy works and why split energy can hinder our experience as a physical being. And so I'm going to go on this path, and it might take a minute to wrap your mind around this because some of this is going to be from a perspective outside of our human physicalness, and some of it will be based on our human physicalness. But I was given a vision last night that I just feel compelled to share. I've been getting a lot of messages about the quantum field, the reality that we live in, about the government, about reptilians, about like there's so much coming at me that I know that to dissect that I'm somebody that moves kind of slow, so I need to sit with it. I need to work with my spirit team to be able to bring through the information clearly, because putting words to some of this is really difficult. When I'm channeling, it's much easier to bring it through, but even in the channeling, like the frequency has to be able to move through my physical understanding to get information out. And so I'm going to just see if I can tap back into this information that was coming through last night. And I probably am going to go into more of a channeled energy as I speak about this, even though I don't think I'm going to like fully trans channel through this video, but I feel like allowing the wisdom keepers to speak more clearly through me would be beneficial. So, the first thing that I am being shown right now is that they were speaking to me last night about the frequency in which they are able to share with humanity. So, what they are saying is we have a difficult time at moments of being able to bring through the frequency and information that we would like to share with humanity due to the density of the earth and density of the human consciousness and mind. When we try to get information to the human mind, it is often interpreted through the ego or through the human logic, and therefore the interpretation can be skewed or twisted or um, interpreted in a way that is not actually the divine frequency of truth. And even in the messages that we give you, the frequency in which we share with you is so high compared to where you are in this dimension that the quantum field does not allow all of it to merge into your understanding. However, we do attempt to bring more and more light into your consciousness to help you to remain and realize who you are. And in that, we want to give you the ideas and clues into the difference between your divine true self and the physical self that is disconnected from that. And as you think of this from a logical human understanding, you will think of this as a in and out, you may say, in a way that you can portray yourself as a human divine being and a spiritual divine being. What is interesting is humans tend to think in a logical way that these are two separate things, but the truth of it is that you are a divine being of light. You are a frequency residing in a higher dimensional understanding, and it is a choice of yours to step into the physical to disconnect from yourself. When we speak of split energy, this is what we mean. The idea of thinking from a perspective connected to your true self, which is divine, which is not physical, and the physical part of you. So, to be able to merge non physical understanding into physical understanding, it takes work on a human level to integrate new energies and frequencies into the logical mind, into the body, the brain, the heart, and the chakra system. As the chakra system clears and opens and expands, and the consciousness of the human is able to move more freely through the brain and the body, these concepts will become more clear in understanding, and the capacity that you will have will be able to translate information more clearly for your understanding. In this, we want you to know that there is nothing that you have done wrong, nor is there anything that you can and will do wrong, as this is a divine orchestration and you have become a physical being out of your own desire and volunteer. We understand why you were there. It is hard for you to comprehend that you chose this, that you are a part of a project and experience where you have gone into the physical realm and experience in which is very highly regarded as a soul frequency in the universe. As we look at humans, we see you as divine, as equal, as higher understanding of dimensions, because you are capable of perceiving yourself from the physical realm, from a non-physical perspective. And the forgetting that you are a non-physical being is part of the project itself. However, in the understanding that you are moving into in a higher dimensional understanding and frequency, you will begin to take a new understanding of how you create the reality around you. And this is by paying more attention to where your energy focuses. And the energy focus can be a thought in itself. And so we gave the example last night to Angie about her physical body and how she views and sees the physical elements of her body from a physical point and a non-physical point. From the physical point, she would focus on pain or things that she did not like about the physical experience. She would focus on things she would want to change or would like to look different. This could be within her reality field among what she has physically and materialistically, or this can be within her body, a pain, an ache, or the functioning or the look of the body that she has. When we were able to bring her out of the experience of looking at things as a physical being into a non-physical being, she was able to tell the difference between her thought and her understanding and comprehension of how these things work. When she was able to move out of the non-physical understanding and look at the physical from that perspective, she realized that the thoughts and the energy in which she projected her focus was what was creating some of the reality in which she was living in. And the reality of the non-physical and the true aspects and the divine frequency of truth, the thought was simple. There was no split energy as far as the thoughts would come forward. As she was a physical being and looking at it from a physical experience, there was two thoughts happening at the same time. One, I am in pain. I do not want this. Two, I am not in pain. I am a divine being of light in which I can create and manifest anything I desire. But as you see, these are two opposites. When you have a physical experience, you are more likely to focus on the physical elements that you are in. When you are non-physical, you do not have physical limitations that keep you from tuning in and seeing the truth of your divinity and the ability to create with your thoughts and your energy. When you are in the non-physical, you do not have the pain aspect, and therefore you just think in purity. Everything is in a frequency of love, and the creation that you have around you is divinely orchestrated through the love aspect of who you are. Therefore, there is not judgment or shame or desire to change things. In the non-physical, it is simply about experiencing yourself from a perspective that you desire. At any point in any time, you can change your thought and energy to experience something. Even in the non-physical elements of beings in the universe that portray themselves as physical at times, these beings, such as ourselves or other dimensional beings, we will describe ourselves as the Octarians at this time, and other beings within other planetary systems also have the ability to communicate and to experience themselves outside of a physical element. Therefore, they stay connected to the ability to not merge into two different frequencies of thought that keep them stuck in a manifestation or reality they do not wish. And so as humans move and ascend into higher frequency, the ability to see these two thoughts are going to become more distinguished. You will be able to feel and sense when you are moving or thinking through a third dimensional way. This is going to be when you feel discomfort, you feel pain, you feel that your emotions or the understanding of yourself and the world around you becomes fearful, or it becomes sacred, or as if you are in lack. It becomes scarce. It becomes a point of attraction in which you look around the world and think, I have no control over any of this. And you allow that thought in the linear, logical timeline that you are in to begin to create and manifest a reality in which you have. When you shift into the perspective of your divine truth, the higher frequency in which you will be working on moving into in the next several years with the fifth dimension, you will be able to see your thoughts from a different perspective and therefore create with a new thought. When you are not thinking in a linear, logical, human way, where you focus on the things that you do not wish and that you want to change, and you strictly move into one thought frequency of truth, health, and love, then that is your manifestation. It has to be created that way. But as you can see, when you are a human, you have both thoughts at the same time. One, I am in pain. Two, I'm a divine being of light and I have no pain. This cannot exist in my non-physical being of light. This cannot exist in my non-physical energy, but in the physical energy, it does exist. And so when you shift the ability to move the thought into the non-physical understanding of yourself is when you can change the physical understanding of yourself. But without the dual understanding of both of these thoughts and the split energy you are creating, the one that is most dominant is the one that you experience in your reality. So as you focus on the dominant energy and in the physical, that is often very dense and associated with actual feelings and sensations, that is your dominant frequency. We understand that it is likely difficult to shift your perspective out of what you see as truth and reality and what you are actually physically experiencing. But in order to do this, you must quiet that part of your mind through the meditation or through conscious awareness of your divine being and the creation that you are making around you through your thoughts, or even what you're creating in your own physical body through your thoughts. And understanding that shifting the perspective to a higher dimensional non-physical reality will give you the ability to see the physical reality differently. We hope this is supportive and helpful for you as you begin the ascension and the process of awakening, even more so as you move into higher consciousness. This is a time for humanity and Earth to begin to remember their ability to see and create from the non-physical realm. However, we understand this is still a very difficult process for the human as you are very focused on physical things. There is nothing that you are doing wrong. This is a divine orchestration. This is a project. This is an experience. This is something that you wanted to have in your reality. And this is expanding the ability of the consciousness of all things to continue to create and exist and to make more of all things through the contrast that you have created through the duality and thoughts that you have as a physical and non-physical being. As you learn more about this and your mind is able to comprehend these truths, you will be able to put into your knowledge or integrate into your knowledge the two dual understandings of yourself and be able to consciously create from a new perspective. At this time, we would encourage you to mostly just spend time in stillness, quietness, and meditation to do this process. And over time, as frequency on the earth continues to ascend, and shift, you will be able to integrate it into the physical body and mind. We love you, we support you, and we are with you on this journey of ascension. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. When I start to channel, I kind of check out. I know they were talking about dual thought, and so I will just describe it as this: like that's where my energy goes. I have my human self, and then the frequency of my high self that is connecting with the Octarians and the Wisdom Keepers to bring. Oh, did you look at the spirit? Did you see that? So they bring it through my physical body, but I literally am tapped out of my physical reality. Like I kind of, the way I describe it is like an observer from the audience. And it's interesting to hear me channel versus me talking normally, because like I have a hard time forming words when I'm in my logical human understanding, and then when I'm in a channeled understanding, like it just comes through more naturally. So um again, I hope that helps. Come join my Ascension membership. I channel every Wednesday at 5:30 Central Time. You can get onto a private Zoom link, ask the Wisdom Keepers questions directly for yourself or for the collective or for the world, whatever that might be. And it's only $40 a month to be a part of that. So every Wednesday, a channeling. And then once a month, I have a community gathering where we support each other. I bring through channeled messages and I explain them. Last week when we met, we talked about the messages I'm getting about reptilians here on Earth. And so it was a really interesting conversation that we had. Um, and it's a growing community. So come hang out with us, come join us. I'll have the link below. And I wish you the best day, night, evening, whatever time it is for you. And I send you all to universal love.